Welcome to the first episode of my new journey. I am handcrafting every piece of furniture in my new Airbnb, starting right here with these stunning bar stools. This isn't going to be just another Airbnb. It's going to be an artistic retreat showcasing my furniture and art. This house is a blank canvas and I'm thrilled to bring you along with me on this journey. And the best part is you'll have the option to experience it firsthand right here in my hometown of Toledo. This project is a blend of creativity, skill, and my deep love of woodworking. Let's get at it. Whenever you're crafting a chair, creating a prototype is crucial for ensuring comfort, fit, and design. I'm putting together a quick plywood mock-up to gauge the size and feel against the existing bar. This step will save me loads of time and conserve precious walnut when it comes time to craft the actual bar stools. Now let's head back over to the house and see if my design translates well into the real world. Even before heading over here, I could tell that I needed to reduce the depth. It's just a little bit too bulky. And then sitting on it at the bar, I realized it's just a little too high, even though I'm within the standard seat height of a bar stool. So I'm gonna make a couple of refinements to the 3D drawing, and then we're gonna head to Kencraft to go get some beautiful walnuts. We are back from Kencraft with some amazing walnut. We got some beautiful straight grain. It is just under 1 inch. It is 15/16 for you fraction people out there, which is going to be close enough to the inch material that I wanted. We're making 2 stools. So we got 8 legs, 8 rails, and 8 cross beams. I've got all the legs and rails cut up. Now on the legs, I want to cut out a little whoop over on the bandsaw. So I'm drawing everything up here. There are multiple ways you can do this. I'm going to go with the simplest method and just follow the line on the bandsaw. You could put this on the table saw, bring your blade up through there, and then cut almost all the way to the end and finish it off on the bandsaw. You could do this at a router with a pattern. In woodworking, there are multiple ways to do nearly everything. Today, I'm just going to choose the simplest method. So I'm drawing my line on here. There's going to be a little fillet here on the corner. And since I'm going to finish this off on the spindle sander, I'm just going to use the spindle that I'll be using, and I'll know I can get that exact fillet. I have been recommending this blade for years, but for some reason, over the last year or so, they break on me all the time. This one broke right at the weld. Things like this happen, so I need to take a break and go get a new blade. If you've been tuning into my podcast, Making It, you're aware that I've been on a journey to up my health game recently. Better eating, more exercising, and now I brought in AG1 into my afternoon routine. For most people, it's gonna be morning, but I fast every day until noon. AG1 isn't just another item on the wellness checklist. It's foundational nutrition that's meant to support your body holistically. And in the spirit of simplicity, it's become an effortless part of my day. Incorporating AG1 in your routine is straightforward. Just 1 scoop in water and you're set. A pretty effortless way of providing our bodies with what we need. Instead of focusing on one aspect of health, it's designed to focus on whole body health, from brain health to gut balance to immune defense. As someone who's recently incorporated AG1 into my routine, I'm excited about the prospects of enhanced focus, sustained energy, and sharper clarity, all without the caffeine jitters or crashes. It's about giving our bodies the nutrients we need to function at our best from a science-driven formulation. AG1 is NSF certified for sport, the gold standard for professional athletes who have to adhere to strict rules regarding supplements and nutritional products. It lets consumers know that what is on the label is actually in the powder. Go to drinkag1.com/make something to get started on your order. AG1 is going to give my viewers a free 1-year supply of AG vitamin D3K2 and 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. Let's get a new blade on the bandsaw and get back to making these. Each leg assembly consists of 4 pieces. Once I get them glued together, I will take this over to the spindle sander and finish off those corners. Now there are a number of ways to join this. I'm gonna show you the most simple way, and that is making a doweling jig. I made this one using these bronze bearing sleeves that I got off of Amazon. This will accept a 3/8 inch drill bit. Typically, you would make this at the drill press because you want those sleeves to run perfectly perpendicular to the edge. If you don't have a drill press, you can cut these little spacers and glue everything up square to the edge, and then add a piece of acrylic to the top, and then you have your own little doweling jig. You can also buy these on Amazon, which might save you a lot of time. I probably want to use 2 dowels, so I'll draw a line here and then draw a line here. Then I'll use my jig to drill out the 2 holes. I got a stop collar on my 3/8 inch drill bit. I need a little bit of extra support here, so I'll just put that piece right there. On one of them, I'll open up a hole just a little bit to give me a little bit of play. Add a little bit of glue. Add our dowels. Add a little bit more glue. That's gonna be a strong, strong joint. That being said, I'm gonna cheat and use the Festool Domino because it's gonna save me about an hour of time plus no cleanup. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, come at me,
bro.
Bring it, bring it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Come at me, bro.
So that has had time to dry. I'm gonna sand this nice and straight and then take this over to the spindle sander and get those corners perfectly radii'd, rounded. I'm gonna sand down to the line. For the radius on the outsides, I cut out most of it over on the bandsaw. This cool little jig allows me to use this as a pattern to get a perfect radius on there. This isn't necessary. You could sand down to the line, but this is gonna speed things up for me. 9 times out of 10, I prefer chamfers over roundovers, but for chairs, I like roundovers because you touch your chair a lot and you fidget with it and you want it nice and smooth. So now we need to make the cross supports. One's gonna be a footrest, one's gonna be on the back, and then we got 2 on the top, and I'm gonna use the same 1-inch material for this. Also, I don't want it to be the full width of the piece. I want it to go from the edge of the roundover to the other edge of the roundover. Gonna go together like this. Now, you could, if you're doing the dowel joinery, clamp it together, drill a hole, and then you would, if you're making it out of walnut, you would probably want to use a walnut dowel or a contrasting dowel, up to you, and then pound that in. And then sometimes I like the look of the through dowel because it's, you know, it's kind of decorative. So that's one option that you could do for this. And I've seen lots of stools with the exposed dowel. I am still going to go the domino route because it's faster, it's easier, it's cheating. I can move on to the next step so we could work on what I think is going to be a really cool top. It's the hardest part of the whole day right here. Clamp that together real good. Oh, dude, look, it doesn't wobble. How is that even possible? All my shit wobbles. I don't put it on camera, but all my shit wobbles. They are looking so good. I'm not sure why they don't wobble. That kind of blows my mind. So now we're gonna work on the seats. The base of the seat is gonna be 1 inch thick, and then there's gonna be this angled back that is 2 inches thick. These seat backs are going to be angled at an angle, but before we glue them to the seat, we're going to make a little hand hole, a little hole for your hand. They're going to be angled at an angle, and then we're going to make a hand hole, a hole for your hand. I should have been a copywriter. Typically how you would do this, you take a 1 inch Forstner bit and you would drill here, and then use a jigsaw to connect those two lines. This is 2 inches thick. I'm not sure if my jigsaw can cut that. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. So I think I'm gonna try to get rid of most of the material with the Forstner bit and then figure out how to sand down to that line. I don't wanna be the guy that sells you stuff, but this is amazing. This is the mag switch drill press fence, and it just goes on there and it just magnetizes to the base.
Magnets, how do they work?
Before I glue these up, I think I need to put the radius on the front of the seat now because it's just gonna be a lot easier. So again, I'm gonna cut off most of it at the bandsaw and then sand to my line. On the second one, I stopped in time so I can do a transition with a file. On the first one, I did not stop in time. If you're ever staying at this house, examining my furniture, look for this mistake. Maybe we should have like a scavenger hunt. Find all my mistakes. Forgot to round over this edge, so I still got a little bit more to do. What was I just saying, Daniel? You gotta keep your head in the game. You gotta keep your head in the game. So anyway, this isn't really a backrest. The purpose of this is mostly to have like a handle to move the stools in and out, and also to cover up like so your butt crack isn't showing, because where these are going to be, it's going to be up against the bar, and you could be in the living room area, and you don't want your butt crack showing. So this is mostly a butt crack hider. And because it's not a backrest, and because we got straight grain to straight grain, and this is 1 inch thick, that glue joint is going to be fine. I don't have to reinforce that at all. The experts always say the glue is stronger than the wood anyway, especially when you got straight grain to straight grain. So no reinforcements, I'm just gonna glue them together. I am going to use the cutoff piece back here to help me get that clamp on there. Whenever you're cutting angles, always save your cutoff pieces because you need them for clamping, almost every time. Because we have the angles, even though I got the shims in the back here, so the clamps will clamp onto that. When I put pressure on there, this piece just wants to slide up because the glue makes it real slippery. So I had to clamp the piece onto the clamp itself with that guy right there. Daniel thought of that. I was trying to add weights. I was trying to make it real complicated. And Daniel goes, just clamp it to the clamp. And then I fired him. I originally designed this for some bent lamination, and I had a curve in there. And since I'm making plans for this, I want it to be as accessible as possible. So I decided to go with something flat instead. Plus, I wasn't totally in love with the look of the curves. And so the bottom is 1 inch thick. And that is definitely deep enough if you want to power carve some butt cheeks in there. I am going to make a little cushion. A lot of stools are perfectly flat on top anyway, but I'm a man of comfort, Daniel. I like to be comfy. I don't exactly know what I'm doing, but I got some of this 1 inch thick new foam and some of this cotton batting and just kind of stretching it over and then stapling it to here. So from the top side, this looks pretty good. You're gonna find out very quickly that I have no idea what I'm doing or talking about. We cut some 1/4 inch plywood and we're using 1/4 inch staples. Nothing special here. And then we're gonna figure out how to cover up the ugliness underneath here. This is probably not typical. And this will cover up my mess. And then a little CA glue on the edges. So I'm gonna center this onto the seat here. Since the seat is solid wood, and it's a good 17 inches wide, it's going to expand and contract a little bit. So I'm only gonna put screws in right here. So I'm gonna put 3 screws in this way, and that's going to allow this front to expand and contract 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch, whatever it might do. I'm gonna put 1 screw up here, but I'm going to expand the hole. That way it can move a little bit. It'll make more sense in the plans. You could use drywall screws, but I'm gonna use the pocket hole screw bit and a pocket hole screw, even though this isn't a traditional pocket hole. The thing about pocket hole screws is it pulls the 2 pieces together. So now I got a drill bit in here that's bigger than the screw. I took a brass kick plate that is actually aluminum and cut it on my table saw so I could epoxy that onto the footrest for a bit more protection. The cushions are Velcroed to the seats. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna keep them because the seats are comfortable enough on their own. 10 years in and I still can't believe I get to do this for a living. This is a crazy new chapter in my life. The next project that we're gonna make for this house is a pair of nightstands. If you want a little bit more information on the game plan for this house, there's a video for that here. I am so excited about the future. As always, be safe, have fun, stay passionate, and make something. Yeah, those came out good.